Hello and welcome back to HLS Crypto. My name is Dan. So today, you're not going to like this, but you need to know. Now, this has elements of life and like human psychology, but also it does a lot more. It does link into crypto, and you'll see why. So, firstly, I asked the question to the subscribers and viewers of the channel exactly what they want from the upcoming bull run. Not so much necessarily in the dollar amount, but what they plan to do with that influx of money. Now, in life, there's numerous types of people, all with different levels of income and goals and dreams in mind. But ultimately, at the core, we are exactly the same. Now, I'll get to this in a minute. Obviously, there's very different levels to this, but this is an overview of that. How does this relate to crypto? You're probably asking that. Well, bear with me and I'll explain. So, I don't know how many of you have seen this before, but this is Maslow's hierarchy of needs, right? And it got me thinking the more I looked at it and thinking, well, where does money fit into this? Where does it ultimately lead us to? So at the very base level, you've got, your physiological needs, you've got food, water, sleep, breathing, and health, right? Now, a lot of these things can be achieved without money. Now, I'm talking if you base this right down to like a caveman, cavewoman kind of level. So in regards, and I'd also argue that shelter would probably be on that bottom rung of the pyramid kind of thing. So you could build yourself a very basic structure, and I mean by very basic, I mean just something with a bit of a roof, just so you're not getting rained on and things like that, essentially, or sunburnt. So food, water, sleep, breathing. So food, you can probably hunt, you can probably get berries, you can probably get what you need. You probably could do that without finance. Water, you could find a spring, a stream, something like that. You could probably get access to water. Sleep, you've got your little structure, you can sleep there. Breathing, obviously, ultimately, that's just something that we do. However, one day, you'll take your last one, which is a horrible thought, but it is something that is there. So breathing is kind of a natural thing. And health, well, based on regular health, there's maybe various different plants, alternative medicines, things like that. They exist. They probably could help, right? So money in that regard is not necessary. I think you'd agree. Next is safety. So security of body, employment, resources, morality, family, property, and health again. So if you had money, you could improve your body by getting a gym membership. You could probably pay a personal trainer, things like that. Employment, that gives you the security, that gives you money. Although in these times, employment maybe not as secure as we'd like to think, but it gives you access to resources. So you can buy things like gas, water, electric, rent, which goes on to property. You can buy a home, rent a home. You've got the access to it. So money is needed there, right? Family, you don't need money to start one, but you do need one probably to enable your family to be provided for, right? Morality, I don't think money comes into that, although people could argue it does, because people tend to be behave differently when they've got money to when they haven't. So there's an example where you probably do need money in certain regards. Love and belonging, so you've got family, again, probably money to provide for your family. Friendship wise, you don't need money to be friends with people. That doesn't happen. But if they're all going to a concert, a football match, whatever, then you're going to need money to be able to at least be with them. But it also brings into that thing like you are the net worth of the 5 people you spend most time with. If they're very, very poor, then the likelihood is you're the 6th. If they're very, very wealthy, likelihood by proxy you'll become the 6th. Affection, I don't think money can buy affection. I think it can buy intimacy, which is why you might see a 21-year-old beach playboy type model with a 70-year-old guy in a care home. Sorry, a 70-year-old guy who's very, very wealthy. You probably wouldn't see that if they were in a care home with no money. So you probably could buy intimacy with money, right? Social interaction, again, the more money you have, people often gravitate more towards you because you think you've made it and this is the end goal kind of thing. And then with esteem, self-esteem and confidence, well, that can come with money, but it's also a disposition within us. You can be a confident person with absolutely no money at all, be really rich and not very confident at all. So money doesn't really come into that. But in general, the more money you have, the more confident you'll ultimately be. Respect of others. You don't need money to respect other people. I think you should always respect other people the best you can, whether they are the lowest rung of the echelon to the highest. I don't think you should need money to give people respect. Respect from others, that often does come to as a result of money. The more money you've got, the more people will generally respect you. But then if you look at the other side of the coin, I've got a lot of respect for single mothers. I've got a lot of respect for nurses. I've got a lot of respect for single fathers, who are trying to do everything they can very much on a shoestring. But again, money would enhance their lives, I would imagine, to a certain extent. And then your top one is self-actualization, which is passion, morality, creating, and problem solving. Again, morality, I don't think that's necessarily linked to money. Passion, no, I think you can be passionate about something without having to have money. Creativity, you can be creative without money. And problem solving, money ultimately does solve a lot of problems, but there are problems that money can't solve. So it's just interesting to see exactly why you need money in the first place, based on the very human core principles of what life is. So this begs the question, does money bring you happiness? Now, I've answered this before in a strange way. So money gives you access to things that you don't normally have access to, experiences that you wouldn't normally have access to if you have this level of money. Therefore, those things that you access and things that you do could ultimately bring about happiness. But does the actual finance, the actual dollar note, for instance, does that bring you happiness? I would argue no. So the answer probably is maybe, which is, I know, sitting on the fence, but it is probably maybe, right? So we're having a dip in crypto today. And this is where controlling your emotions becomes key, right? And I've said about this before. I know I'm probably doing your head in a little bit about controlling your emotions, but it is key, and you'll see why, right? We've seen big gains the past couple of weeks, and how many people FOMO'd in? Did you? You can be honest here. I want this space to always be open and honest. I think it's very important. But DCA would have solved that issue for you. So if you're DCAing up and down along the way, each month, each week, however you do it, you're catching those micro bottoms and tops. It is happening, particularly when we're not in the full bull yet. So DCA solves that one emotional problem there, right? Now, how many people are now think they should sell some of those bags that they're in profit in to buy back later, to try and get in a bit lower, bring that average entry cost down? Well, time in the market beats time in the market. So there's always something to try and prevent you from going one of the two ways, right? So you don't have to be thinking about, I better sell these bags now. Just when they dip, DCA in, you're done. Time in the market. Be in the market for a longer period of time. Ultimately, you should come out better off. Trying to time the market, you can get wrecked. How many of you thought this is the bull run has begun? This is it. The bull run's there. We're doing it. And now things are retracing a bit. You think, shit, we're still right in the bear market and it's all going down too fast. Now, again, be honest. Have you felt this? Emotions, right? Fear and greed index exists for a reason, which I'll just quickly show you. So fear and greed index, right? Right now, we're at 72. So we're down from yesterday and we're down from last week. But last month was neutral at 47. So why do you think an index that relies on fear and greed is something to consider? It has to exist for a reason, because it knows human psychology, right? So has any of this resonated with you? Any of it? Nobody is perfect. We will all feel these things happen to us. You get that thought in your head, and depending on where we are in the market, it has the potential to consume you. If we're up and climbing, we only see the end goal and how right we were, and we pat ourselves on the back, and everything is going to be amazing. And the more you think, the more you look for confirmation bias. So you look for things that tell you, yeah, you are right. And it'll keep fueling that same consuming behavior. Confirmation bias can be dangerous on both ways, by the way. And you seek an echo chamber to confirm that you're right. People do that. It's natural. It's human nature. If you've got a favorite football team, now you might have a really negative view on that particular football team right now. So you look for things that confirm that. But if they're doing really well, then you look for things that also confirm how great they are. Now, when things are going down, the fear and panic also can consume you. You start to think, I've put X amount of money in and now I'm going to be wrecked. I'll have to stay in my 9 to 5 for another 40 years. And oh no, what have I done? And you're like, oh no. And you'll see the same confirmation bias, but this time in the negative way. You might have told your friends and family about how great crypto is, and now they're going to be making those really condescending, sarcastic comments about, oh, we did try to tell you, or how's that cryptocurrency thing going? You're going to get that. It's so annoying, right? And this makes you question, what are you doing? Are you doing the right thing? And it hurts, and you might even feel a bit angry. But again, it's emotions, right? Most of our decisions are led by fear or led by greed. Most decisions are made from an emotional point of view. Very rarely do you sit and critically analyze and then come up with a decision, which is kind of really important. The more you can control those emotions and make more rational decisions, it's always going to help, right? In crypto and in life, right? So I always keep saying, I always keep saying it. I'm constantly saying it, but you can see now the power of controlling your emotions. You can see that, right? So what can help? Well, as you know, the Discord, the private community that we're setting up here is coming in next week or so. There's just a few finishing touches just to finalize a few things. But do you think it would be beneficial for you to have access and be able to speak to a group of people about any of this at any point in the market? A group of people who you can discuss crypto with and life, and life in general before making any rash decisions either way. A place where everyone understands the emotion and the difficulty of crypto and ultimately life and all that it entails, the highs, the lows, the euphoria, the despair. I think that would be beneficial to a lot of people, right? If you think it would benefit you, then you should take a look and see what's available to you. It doesn't have to be our community. It doesn't have to be. You can pick any community you want. It's all about what group you wish to join. There may be many out there, and there are many out there, and I'm sure a lot of them are great. The community that will be out very soon that we're building here will be limited to 50 members, as I want to have and build good, close connections and relationships with you guys. That's important to me. I think that's going to be really good, and I think if it gets too big, it's harder to do that. And ultimately, I want us to have a core of people who really are interested in trying to change their lives and making things better for not only themselves but their family and the people around them, people they love, essentially. Who am I? I'm just a guy. Just a guy. I work in a hospital. I do 12-hour shifts. And I've been through hell, not just in crypto, but in life in general, in loads of different areas of life. I've been at the bottoms and the tops, not necessarily the tops because the tops are ridiculous, but I've been through a large, medium range of lows to like semi-highs, we'll say. I know how hard things can get, and I know how good things can be, but I know how emotions can lead action. And I know how fear can too. It's horrible when fear leads your decision making, and it often leads to making bad choices, which is never good. Never good. I want you all to do the best you can in the upcoming bull run, and I want to see all the comments, like I've said before, of these success stories. I want to see everything that you're trying to do, everything you're trying to achieve, what it means to you to be free, because ultimately freedom will be the biggest thing that any of us will ever experience. You've got this. I believe in every single one of you. I know you've got this, and I'm just delighted to be part of the journey with you. How in whichever capacity that I'm in with you, I'm just delighted to be here with you. I'm delighted that we've got a YouTube channel that we can discuss these things with as well. I think it's really important. I hope you liked this video. If you did, please smash the like button. I always appreciate it when you do that. Subscriber wise, we've cleared 1,600 now, so we're chasing down 1,700, and we're hoping that by Christmas Day we will hit the 2,000 subscriber mark. So I'm really looking forward to when we achieve that goal. So thank you very much for everyone who's subscribed so far and any new subscribers. If you haven't subscribed yet and you want to flick back through a few of the other videos to see which ones resonate with you most, then please do that. And if I do resonate with you, then click the subscribe button and I'll be greatly appreciative of that. So wherever you are in the world, whatever you are doing, have an awesome day, have an awesome evening. And as always, we'll see you tomorrow. Take it easy. Goodbye.